Hello, young living business owners. I hope everybody is having a great day today. This is Ella, and I am coming to you today to help you become more aware of some of the things you can do as a business owner with Young Living to get unstuck or to help with those feelings that you're not going to make it. And the first thing I want you to know is that all business owners feel this way at some point in their business. Everybody wants to give up, throw in the towel, and it's not always necessary because there are some things you can do to help you get back on track, to help you make progress with your business. And essentially, there are two things that you need to change. Just two. This is easy. The first thing is that you need to change your mindset. The mind is a very powerful player in the game of life, and unless we learn to overcome what the mind is thinking about, it's very likely that we're going to fail. The second thing is changing your energy pattern. Energy is just as real as these bodies are, and we're all putting out an energy that is attracting something back to us. So we're going to work on these two things today. First of all, changing your mindset. Secondly, changing your energy pattern so that you can better be able to have growth in your business and your personal life. Because a lot of times if you're feeling stuck in your business, you're also feeling stuck in your life. So let's talk for just a few minutes about the brain. We all have one, and being a human being is a little bit tricky because we have to go through the mind in order to make changes. Oftentimes, our mind is speaking to us about a lot of things that we can and can't do in our day. And I wanted to make everybody aware that there is a part of your brain that I feel like is actively working against us. It's our prefrontal cortex. And it's this part of the brain that wants us to do tomorrow what we did today. It's this part of our brain that understands things like consistency. It craves consistency, in fact. One of the most important functions of your prefrontal cortex that surprises and alarms me is that it's always seeking to make a prediction about the future based on past events. So, unless you only want to get what you've always gotten, we have to find a way around this part of our brain, which was designed to keep us safe, and safety is important. But we also have to learn how to overcome our fears and overcome this part of our mind that is constantly telling us what we can't do. And that's just because we've not done it yet. Like I said, this part of your brain craves consistency. So if you move outside of what is consistent, it's going to have issues with that, and it's going to tell you why you can't succeed. So how do we do this? How do we overcome this part of our brain? You know as well as I do that it's constantly telling you what you can't do with your life, with your business, with your family. It talks to us all day. So my best piece of advice for this is to talk back. You talk to yourself already all day long. There's conversations going on between you and your brain. And if you're aware of those conversations, then you can figure out how to manipulate them a bit so that you're getting a different result. And one of the first things that you need to do as you're thinking about this area of your brain is you need to realize that this is not you. It's not you. It's just a part of your brain that is speaking to you about what is normal. So, consistency. It wants you to do today what you did yesterday. That's what it knows, and that's what gives it the satisfaction that makes it feel safe. So we've got to separate us from our brain. And I thought it was pretty interesting today as I was driving my daughter home from school. She said something like, Mom, I'm trying to get my brain to understand that we're going to do great on our finals for this semester. We're going to do great on our finals. And I thought that was really interesting because she is already separating her from her mind. She realizes that there's two very big components that she has to deal with when she's trying to be successful. She's got herself and she's got her brain. So, most importantly, we've got to come to realize that we are not our thoughts, but our thoughts do have a huge impact on what we create. Thoughts create things all the time. And so it's important for you to learn how to overcome your thought processes so that you can be more successful in your business and your personal life. I have a great way of talking to my own brain at this point after many years of coaching. I coach myself constantly because my brain too wants to give me all the information about what I can't do in a day. It wants to bring me down. It wants to make me feel guilty about what I didn't accomplish. It wants to tell me about my shortcomings and what might not work. That's the function of this part of my brain. So what do? I talk to it. I talk to it all day long. But in a place of awareness instead of it just being something that is happening without my control. And one of the best clearing techniques that I've ever used is for you to simply, when you have those thoughts come in, like you're not enough, or you're not going to make it, or you're stuck in your business, it's important for you to stop and recognize those thoughts and actually talk to those thoughts. So this little clearing technique that I'm going to teach you actually helps you in a lot of ways. First of all, it helps you separate you from your thoughts, which is so very important. And it gives you some direction in being able to recreate what's happening with those thoughts. So the way this goes is you simply, when you get a thought that isn't conducive to you being the most successful that you can be, you've got to say hello to it. You've got to actually be okay with having it be there. Because what you resist will persist, it's very important that you don't resist the thought, just ask it to go away, but you say hello to it. So let's say you're feeling like you're stuck in your business, and that thought is going through your head a lot of the time. I'm stuck in my business. I'm stuck in my business. You need to actually say hello to it. Say, hello, thought that I'm stuck in my business. However, you're not me. And then replace that thought with a new thought, possibly an affirmation or possibly anything you want to say to that thought. So it could go, hey, thank you for checking in. Thought that I'm stuck in my business. However, you're not me. I am successful in my business. I create my own outcome. I have the energy and vitality to do a little bit more today than I did yesterday. That's it. Talking back to your brain while accepting the thoughts that are coming in and then changing them is a big part of changing your mindset. So that's the first thing to do. Say to the thought, hello, Glad you checked in today. However, you're not me. However, I am the type of person that runs my business the way I know it's going to make it work. I am the type of person that's never going to give up. I am the type of person that's going to fall down 7 times and get up 8. So that's one of the best processes that I've ever found that really works when you are trying to change your mindset, is accepting the thought. It's there. It's going to stay there for as long as it takes to convince you to do something different than what you're doing, unless you take the time to clear it. And it can be as simple as what I just described. Next, we've got to change your energy pattern. It is possible to change the way you're vibrating, to change your energy pattern. This isn't as hard as you might think. And the biggest thing you can do is figuring out how to put those new thoughts that are serving you into your brain and letting go of those old thoughts that are not serving you. But another way to do this is, well, there's so many ways. First of all, I really like the idea of affirmations, but we're going to take these to a new level today. An affirmation is just stating something that you feel like exists inside of you. So you might use an affirmation, I am successful in my business. That it convinces our subconscious mind, which doesn't know the difference between truth and fiction, by the way. I like the way it trains our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is always feeding our energy pattern, and it believes anything we want to tell it. So if you want to say all day long, I am a millionaire, your subconscious mind is going to believe it. But like I said before, there's that other part of our brain that isn't going to believe it. So I'd like to teach you guys today about affirmations. I really like the use of affirmations because they help you to change your energy pattern as well as overcoming the obstacle of that part of your brain that when you say, I'm a millionaire, it says, no, you're not. So an affirmation is just an affirmation with the word why in front of it. So if you want to use the affirmation, I am a successful business owner, all you would have to do to change that over to an affirmation is to change it by adding the word why, saying, why am I such a successful business owner? And answer the question. Maybe you're a successful business owner because you put forth effort every single day towards your business. Maybe you're a successful business owner because you're consistent. Any way you look at it, any way you answer that question, it helps change your energy pattern just like an affirmation does. However, now using the affirmation, you've also helped overcome that part of your brain that's going to respond negatively to an affirmation. So whenever you're using an affirmation, add the word why to it. Why is today such an easy day? Why do I have such a high level of energy today? Why are things so easy for me? Why do I attract money so abundantly and so quickly? This is the use of energy, and it's going to help you overcome that part of your brain that wants to say, no, you're not. It actually enlists the help of that part of your brain that is logical and reasoning, and it wants to seek an answer to that question. So use affirmations, use them regularly, because it will help change your energy pattern. Okay? Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about the energy of gratitude. Gratitude is a huge, important player in this game of abundance. And I figured out why it's such an important player. This took me a long time to figure out. If you've already figured it out, then you're a lot smarter than I am, which is good too. You make some videos about this kind of stuff too, and let's do it together. Anyway, gratitude. Gratitude is an energy of abundance, if you think about it. If you are embraced in gratitude, that feeling of, I have so much, I have so much. If you are walking around in your day-to-day life embraced in gratitude and that feeling of I have, what is going to be returned to you? More. More of that abundant energy that is so important for all of us. So if you want to change yourself and your thinking pattern and your energy pattern, one of the biggest components of that is looking at your particular level of gratitude that you're experiencing right now in your life. So give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 5 right now. 5 being I am surrounded in gratitude, and 1 being, well, sometimes I think about what I'm grateful for. If you're rating yourself anything less than a 5, then you can't expect to be receiving at a level 5. One of the best exercises that I've ever designed was an exercise in gratitude where you actually take pictures. And so you start taking 10 pictures a week, just of random things that you find that you're grateful for in your life. You might click a picture of something funny. You might click a picture of a flower in bloom. Anything that you come across that you have feelings of being grateful for, take a picture of it. Once you've collected 40 or 50 images, and the reason I ask you to collect images rather than just writing down words of what you're grateful for is because the mind is so much more capable of absorbing images than it is of absorbing just words. So take a 50, I don't know, about 50 pictures and go get them printed. You'll love printing pictures, again, I promise you. And it's a lot easier than what you think. And then get a journal or a book with blank pages, anything you can put these pictures in, and create a gratitude book. Next to the pictures that you put in the book, write why you are grateful for that thing next to the picture. This creates an emotional attachment to the image, which makes it easier and easier for you to be able to recall the information and what you were feeling at that time. So energetically, this is a really good thing to do for yourself. So you put the pictures in the book and suddenly you have a gratitude book. Not just words every day, but you actually have a gratitude book. And with my gratitude book, I can't think of anything more important that I have. Well, except for a few things, my kids. But that's obvious. But my gratitude book is special to me because anytime I need to shift my energy pattern, let's say I'm just going along and I'm having a rough morning. All I have to do is close my eyes, and for 10 or 20 seconds, I recall all of the images I can in my gratitude book, and the shift happens instantly. I am instantly transformed into a different place within my energy pattern. It just makes you feel a lot better. And it's creating that energy of abundance that surrounds you. I have so much. I have so much. So the energy of gratitude is extremely important. Real quick, I want to talk to you guys about vision boards because I see a lot of people making vision boards And I would really like for there to be more to them than some words written on a poster board. First of all, I don't even call my boards vision boards. I call mine my intention boards because every single time I put a picture on one of my boards, I have full faith that that thing is going to happen in my lifetime. I don't know how and I don't know when, but I know that when I put something on my intention board, that it's going to happen. This isn't a dream. It's not a vision. It's going to happen in my lifetime. So I would encourage all of you, in order to change your energy pattern, create an intention board. Find images that represent everything you want. An image really is worth 1,000 words, a million words. Can't remember what the saying is. A million words. That's quite a lot of words. So put these images up on your intention board and then have full faith that it's going to happen. And the most important thing while you're creating your intention boards is to not worry about how. How does not even exist when you're creating an intention board. How is meant for your logical part of your brain. And we have plenty of time to figure that out later. While you're creating an intention board, it's a time for imagination. And one of the things that is so important to me is a quote by Einstein. He said, "Imagination is more important than intelligence." And I believe if he would have had more time on this planet, he would have been able to prove to us that this was true. Imagination is more important than intelligence. He somehow knew, even though he was a very scientific man, a mathematician, a physicist, that there was something about imagination that would create something for us that knowledge could not. So while you're making your intention boards, and you can still call them a vision board if you want, that's completely up to you. I'm not here to convince you to do anything you don't want to do, but as you're creating these boards, I think it's really important to set aside the how, set aside logic and reasoning, and just focus on your imagination. What do you really want? Put it in pictures and put it up on the wall. Lastly, I have to talk a little bit about faith. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of faith that you learn at church or in a religion. I'm talking about any faith. Faith you have in yourself. Faith you have in a higher power. Faith you have in the universe. Faith you have in your creator. Any faith is going to get you further than not having faith. I promise you this. Figure out what your faith is. Do you really believe that achieving what you want to achieve is possible? And do you believe that there is a force, possibly, that can help you get there? Faith is a really important player when you're trying to create something that hasn't happened yet. So I want you to think about where your faith is at. And I want you to think about where your faith is at in regards to your dreams. Because if you have 100% faith, I promise you there's no way that you're not going to make it. Now, if you have any questions, just post them below. I'm happy to answer those questions for you. And lastly, if you need a coach, I happen to know one, and she's here and available for you. So maybe send me a message if you're interested in coaching, and I will respond. Thank you all for listening. I hope this has given you some insight. Have a good day. Bye.